In the December 2025 collaboration issue, Jungkook made history that previously seemed impossible. For the first time, one artist appeared simultaneously on the covers of Rolling Stone UK, Japan, and Korea. Not separately, not alternately, but simultaneously. An achievement that quietly changed the standards of achievement in the global music industry. This isn't just a magazine. Rolling Stone is the ultimate symbol of legitimacy in the music world, a medium that has for decades been a platform for legends across generations. And now, Jungkook stands alongside the biggest names who have shaped global music history. Not as a Korean idol, but as a global artist with real influence. What makes this moment even more powerful is how Jungkook is portrayed. There's no attempt to conform to K-pop stereotypes. There are no limiting labels. What's on display is an artist without boundaries, free from genre, language, or region. A global pop figure who no longer follows trends but is at the center of them. Jungkook's visual transformation in this photo shoot is a major talking point. From his crisp suits that exude world-class elegance, to his edgy style that dares to challenge the conventions of the idol industry. One of the most viral visuals shows Jungkook wearing an open gray blazer paired with Calvin Klein underwear. A simple look, yet brimming with meaning. This isn't about fashion. It's about control over one's identity. It's about the confidence of an artist who's truly comfortable in their own skin. It's about Jungkook who doesn't need to shout for attention, because his presence speaks volumes. It's no wonder the Korean edition carries the title, No Limits. Two words that feel perfectly apt to describe Jungkook's current phase in life. No limits. No hesitation. No compromise. The title isn't just an editorial theme, but a reflection of the journey he's on. In the 45-second clip released simultaneously, Jungkook once again proves his visual prowess. He appears in gray pants, a leather jacket, and a chain necklace, standing with a calm yet piercing gaze. There are no exaggerated movements. No forced expressions. In fact, in that simplicity, his charisma is even stronger. Every pose feels like a silent statement. Jungkook no longer follows the flow, he shapes it. The fan reaction was immediate. As soon as pre-orders for the 16th Korean issue opened through Weber's shop, global enthusiasm was unstoppable. With limited availability and a shipping date of early January 2026, armies worldwide rushed to secure their copies. For fans, this magazine isn't just a collection. It's a testament to a long journey. A reminder that Jungkook, who debuted as the youngest member of BTS, now stands at the pinnacle of the global music industry in his own right. Since his solo debut, Jungkook's influence has grown at an incredible pace. His songs dominate international charts, his collaborations consistently spark global discussion, and his presence in the global media now feels no longer a surprise, but an inevitability. This full issue of Rolling Stone offers more than just visuals. Inside, readers are invited into Jungkook's thoughts on music, the industry, pressure, and creative freedom. He speaks not as an idol, but as an artist. About the process. About the burden of expectations. About how K-pop continues to evolve on the global stage. He doesn't try to be perfect. He's honest. And it's precisely that honesty that makes his story relatable to today's generation. Rolling Stone UK, Japan, and Korea seem to agree on one thing. Jungkook is the face of a new era of global music. A figure capable of bridging East and West without losing his identity. Proof that K-pop isn't a passing fad, but a cultural force with lasting impact. And the No Limits narrative doesn't stop at Rolling Stone. Elle Korea once again captured the world's attention by releasing 9 different covers for its January 2026 issue, all featuring Jungkook. The unveiling took place simultaneously on December 15 via Elle's official social media channels and immediately became a hot topic among global fan communities. The photo shoot took place in Paris, a city with a long history in art and fashion. A setting that feels perfectly fitting for Jungkook, an icon of today's generation who embodies the spirit of the times. Paris's connection to the heritage of Chanel also adds a symbolic layer to this visual collaboration. Across the 9 covers, Jungkook displays a wide spectrum of expression. Intense, sharp, yet elegant. Elle describes him as a modern figure, bold, expressive, and effortlessly sophisticated. Each cover highlights a different side, from powerful gazes to softer, more reflective moments. And when we talk about just getting started, it's not hyperbole. All the accomplishments that have occurred since the end of 2025 actually feel like the starting point of a much larger phase for Jungkook. Rolling Stone, Elle Korea, Paris, 3 countries, 9 covers, these are not the pinnacle, but the foundation. The world is witnessing a very rare transition, a K-pop idol completely transforming into a global cultural figure. Interestingly, Jungkook never explicitly declared this change. There was no rebranding press conference. There were no dramatic statements. It all happened naturally, slowly, and consistently. From the way he chooses projects, to the way he talks about music, to how he lets his work define who he is today. And that's precisely where his power lies. If we trace the thread from Rolling Stone's No Limits headline to the 9 Elle Korea covers in Paris, there's one overarching narrative that can't be ignored: complete control over the direction of his own life and career. Jungkook is no longer in the proving phase. He's in the defining phase. What he's doing now isn't for recognition, it's to leave a mark. In the interviews accompanying the magazine issue, Jungkook speaks in a different tone than he did a few years ago. Calmer. More reflective. He's no longer rushing to meet public expectations. He talks about the creative process, about exhaustion, about the pressures that come with global fame, and about how he's learned to make peace with it all. Not by fighting it, but by understanding himself. At this point, Jungkook is no longer defined solely by numbers. Charts, views, and sales are still important, but they aren't the center of his narrative. What's highlighted is the consistency of his character, how he remains humble amidst global acclaim, grounded amidst the global spotlight. And this is what has led many international media outlets to begin calling Jungkook a blueprint for the next generation of artists, not just in K-pop, but in the global music industry. An artist who can maintain his local identity without closing himself off from the world. A star who hasn't lost his humanity, even at the height of his popularity. Fan reactions also reflect this shift. ARMY aren't just celebrating visuals or headline-grabbing achievements. They're celebrating the journey. They see Jungkook not just as an idol, but as someone who has grown alongside them. From a shy teenager at the beginning of their debut, to a grown man standing confidently in his own skin. And interestingly, Jungkook never cut ties with his past. He didn't deny his identity as part of BTS. Quite the opposite. Everything he's achieved today rests on the foundation he built with the group. That's why each of his accomplishments feels complete, neither detached from history, nor bound by it. In an industry that often forces artists to choose a single identity, Jungkook has shown that evolution doesn't mean abandoning one's roots. He's brought BTS with him to a broader global stage, while simultaneously paving a new path never before explored. And if we look at the signs that began to emerge in late 2025, one thing is increasingly clear: the world hasn't seen Jungkook's entire plan. There's a space he's preparing for. There's a phase he's carefully building. From cross-genre collaborations, to an increasingly cinematic visual approach, to a musical depth that's starting to feel more personal and daring. Many industry observers call this phase quiet domination. Not loud, not aggressive, but undeniable. Jungkook doesn't need to declare himself a global icon. The media, fans, and industry do it for him. And this is where the meaning of No Limits truly comes to life. It's not just an editorial slogan. It's not just a magazine title. It's a philosophy reflected in every step. There are no age limits. There are no genre limits. There are no market limits. There is only honesty in the work and the courage to continue growing. The Jungkook of today represents a new era, one where artists are no longer boxed in by labels, where K-pop is no longer seen as a fringe genre, and where Asian identities stand at the center of global culture. December 2025 isn't the end of the story. It's the prologue to a bigger chapter. A chapter where Jungkook is remembered not just as a star, but as a marker of the times. And for top K-pop, one thing is clear: we are not witnessing someone reaching the top. We are witnessing someone redefining what the top is.